guys, we're here today with a Kleavor guide on how to use Kleavor in just general, because we don't know what meta this is going to pop up in, whether it's Sword and Shield, BSP, etc. But I want to give some guides on how to use Kleavor in whatever meta it ends up showing up in. So if you guys do enjoy this, leave a like on the video below and subscribe for more content just like this. In the comments below, let me know what Pokemon you want to see next. I currently have a placeholder video for, I believe, tomorrow, or no, it's for Monday, for the next guide. And I want to see what Pokemon you guys want to see covered for the Legends Arceus Pokemon. With that said, let's get right into Kleavor. So we have a few sets. The first two sets that I'm going to go over today are going to be going over only moves that Kleavor has confirmed in Legends Arceus. I'm not including Sonax because we don't know if it'll even be transferable. It might end up being like the Let's Go Pikachu Eevee moves where they're only being kept in that game. But even still, Kleavor does have a lot going for it. Just off of these stats, the currently usable moves in other metagames, and the typing and abilities that it has, at least slated. So I feel like that we have a lot to go off of for Kleavor even still. So hopefully you guys enjoy this anyway. And with that said, let's start off with the first set, which is going to be a lead set with Focus Sash. So with this set, it's Focus Sash with Sheer Force. It has X-Scissor, Stealth Rock, Rock Slide, and Close Combat. The Rock Slide, X-Scissor, and Close Combat are probably going to be pretty common on sets. They give a lot of coverage. With Sheer Force, especially boosting Rock Slide, it makes it a pretty damning option, doing more damage than even Stone Edge would be doing, which is pretty incredible. With Stealth Rocks as well, this set gives a really good lead option, because typically a lot of teams will lead off with other lead Pokemon that are setting up rocks. They'll set up a taunt Pokemon, and a lot of those taunt Pokemon especially don't really like X-Scissor or Rock Slide. So like, for example, taunt Aerodactyl, taunt Azelf, those are both Pokemon commonly weak to your stabs, both pretty good taunters in the BDSP OU tier at the very least. And if you go into the Sword and Shield metagame, there's obviously Pokemon like, for example, Zeraora, which are still going to take a lot from Rock Slide. Other taunt Pokemon that could be ran in the BDSP OU meta, Tornadus is another one, but that's not going to want to ever really handle Kleavor in that regard. So you're definitely going to be risking a lot by having a taunter, at least any sort of common taunter, stay in and try and taunt Kleavor. With this Close Combat, it's able to hit Steel types, which would otherwise really wall the Rock Slide and the X-Scissors that you'd be going for. And the 85 speed with Jolly Nature, it's really just to hit as fast as possible, as hard as possible. With the 135 base attack with investment as well. It's pretty useful. Kleavor has some decent natural bulk too, with 95 Phys Def and 70 Speed Def. It's not bad for a Pokemon that's as offensive as this is. So I feel like this Kleavor set would definitely be a really good lead option for teams. More so just like a suicide lead trying to trade a kill 1-for-1 against a Pokemon, or maybe if your opponent just doesn't have hazards, you could bring it in later on in the game. Point is though, this Kleavor is probably, in my opinion, the most expendable, but I feel like that the other two Kleavor options we have are going to be really damning. Such as our next option, which is Life Orb Kleavor, which trades out Stealth Rock for Swords Dance, which Swords Dance will help this thing break through obnoxious walls in OU. For example, if you set up on a Pokemon, like for example, when Toxapex doubles in on you, maybe try and go for Scald or Haze, it can't even successfully do that because it'll take around 75% minimum from Jolly, even if it is a max Phys Def Pex, which is incredible because Jolly Rock Slide going for the +2, Pex now needs to force itself to either A, trade it and go for Haze, meaning that your attack is now dropped and that it's trading the sack on Pex, which you can still set up later in the game on a good amount of Pokemon in this tier, or B, it's going to go for the Scald, try and burn you on that turn, and then if it doesn't burn you, you're kind of screwed, and even if it does burn you, you're still dying to the +2 Rock Slide next turn. So Kleavor can definitely trade for walls like that. Not only this, but if you're going for a Life Orb Sheer Force set, and you're, let's say, taking on a Corviknight. So Corviknight would, from +1, even without the leftovers, actually no, from +1 Life Orb, Max Impish Corviknight already takes 60%. This is hinting at another set later on. But Adamant +2 still is 82% minimum, which means that if you have Stealth Rocks up, you could actually potentially even roll Corviknight for the kill. It's a 60% chance to kill, which 62% is pretty incredible just to guarantee an OHKO on Corviknight, which is one of the more defensive Pokemon in the tier. Not only that, but Corviknight can't really do much to you anyway. Pokemon like Slowbro, Faint to X-Scissor, which is incredible for you. Landorus, it would need to be really defensive to even take a hit, and even still, Lando can't exactly KO you that much. With the Landorus going for Intimidate to put it in perspective, it does 77% minimum to Landorus. Actually, that's with Adamant. To be fair, this is the Jolly Calc, and the Corviknight one was Jolly too, but you still get the guaranteed 2 account on Corviknight, so it doesn't change that whole point there. Landorus takes 70% minimum from this, which is after Intimidate drop, which means you could potentially take it out after like 2 hits, and Landorus doesn't do a lot back. Does around 51% minimum from defensive, so if it's taking the hit that well, it's not going to be able to KO you back anyway. Even still, offensive Landorus, even if it's like a Life Orb Landorus with Jolly Nature, cannot guarantee the KO. So if you wanted to maybe, let's say, trade this for a Boots instead, just to make sure you're not taking Rocks damage before and also not taking Life Orb, you're actually guaranteed to take on a not Adamant Landorus, even if it is like a Life Orb set or a Soft Sand set, without having to worry about Rocks or Life Orb chip. So that's pretty useful in my opinion. Not only this, but Kleavor's speed is the same exact speed as Nidoking. So running, oh, oops, I'm on the curse set. I don't know why. It must have changed for some reason while I was going over this. But going over the Life Orb set though, with Life Orb, Sheer Force, you're able to tie a Pokemon like Nidoking, which Nidoking as well is a really, really dangerous wall breaker on webs. So with the webs set in general, this is a pretty terrifying Pokemon in my opinion. And you could also probably pair it with Nidoking, because Nidoking is really good at clearing stuff, really just in general with the special coverage, and most teams probably will not be able to take on the combination of Kleavor and Nidoking. If you were to go with that as well, you could opt for potentially some other move, like maybe a Psycho Cut for fighting types or an Aerial Ace for fighting types, and then have Nidoking maybe go for the killing of the steel types. So that tandem does work out really well, and it would mean that you're not dropping defensive in close combat, but it really just sort of depends on the team comp there. But that close combat slot, while ideally close combat for just giving Kleavor as well neutral coverage as possible, you have other options depending on teammates. So with that said, I want to get into our final set though, which is a Leftovers Curse set. Now, I don't know why I hit my arrow key to change this set, but you guys probably already saw the set on screen anyway. With Leftovers with Roost and Curse, you're able to potentially set up on Pokemon. This is a bit more haze bait, but depending on the team, it could be really useful. My guess is this would probably benefit the most from going on Trick Room teams, because of the fact that you could get up to +1 Curse under Trick Room, be really, really bulky, and then try and outpace to get off Roosts, as well as Rock Slides and Stone Edges, which Rock Slides and Stone Edge hits pretty well. There's not a lot of Pokemon that really want to take on this combination. And after the +1 boost, really, I think the scariest Pokemon will probably be like a Slowbro for this set, because it would still underpace you in Trick Room, and it could potentially Scald Burn you, so that would be kind of scary. But I feel like outside of stuff like Slowbro, for example, it's going to do a lot of damage to a majority of Pokemon in the OU tier, just because not much really likes switching in on Rock plus Fighting, especially in the Rock side is Stab, Sheer Force boosted, and Kleavor in general just has a really obnoxious attack stat to where it doesn't even need Life Orb to do a lot of damage. With +1, you're still able to 2 KO Pokemon, like for example Toxapex after Rocks, and Corviknight in general, so it's really useful, especially because you have the Adamant Nature there. So this Kleavor set is still really good at breaking through wall cores, and yeah, I feel like Kleavor, while probably not going to be the best Pokemon in OU, could definitely put up at least a good presence, and my guess is this will probably end up being in the UU tier, but I just wanted to show that you could still definitely use Kleavor when the time comes in the OU meta, because I do think it's going to be that terrifying. So I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. I know it's a little bit on the short end, but I want to see how you guys enjoy shorter content. So if you guys did enjoy this, make sure you leave a like on the video. It really helps out a lot, and it helps me know your guys' thoughts on the content. Subscribe for more content like this. We'll be having a tier list on Dragon-type Pokemon tomorrow, as well as another competitive guide for the next Legends Arceus Pokemon on Monday. And streams, we're doing a lot of streams, almost daily streams, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. With that said, I'd like to give a massive shout out to our current channel members, being Zeke0, UltraPlayer12, Randy HLD, Rika, and also Mia. Thank you guys so much for the support on the channel. I really appreciate it. If you want to join, button and the link are both down below. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out, guys.